Oh, hey, I'm sorry, I didn't even see you come in. Nice to see you. Since you're here, I might as well show you around a second. I'm in my home study here. Since we're in the midst of social distancing, we're not going into the office very much, as you all know, which I have an office at church, but I have a study at home because this is really where I get more study work done here. And so I was just working on next week's sermon. And while you're here, I wanted to tell you that one of the things that Sherry and I were working on since we had more evenings together was we decided there's one area of our house that still needed some organization. And of course, it's my closet in my study. We had a number of boxes in there that we needed to go through, and then I had books everywhere. And so we got into the closet and decided to clean up some and reorganize some. So I wanted to show you what we did. If you'll follow me into the closet. What was a closet now has sort of become a reference room. So we cleaned out all these shelves, and a lot of the reference books that I will use for teaching and preaching we put in here. Come on in, I want to show you up on the top shelf. If you could look at those top shelves, those are journals that I've been keeping since I've been here, so I can go back and kind of get a record of prayer concerns and studies and sermon series and so forth. And then lots of reference books here, and then down here you've got boxes of old sermons that we keep in the box. Probably won't get them out, they're pretty dry. They were the first time, so anyway. But this has really been helpful to reorganize kind of a reference room. So while we were cleaning out the closet and going through these boxes, we came across a couple of boxes that I didn't even remember that we had. And they were old keepsakes and pictures and records of things that I had forgotten that we had kept. And one of them was a scrapbook that my mother had put together. And it was kind of fun going through that, remembering some of the things that she remembered, that she set aside, that she wanted us to remember too. And I was going to show you two or three of those. The first one, if you look down here, there's a little guy, I think 6 years old, 6 or 7, in the first grade. That's me. That's my first grade class at Ransom Elementary School, which was right down the street from West End High School back in the day. And I remember some of those kids by name, but I remember Mrs. Hill, my teacher. And then another picture that she had saved, and fast forward about 12 or 13 years, is a picture of my dad and me at Vanderbilt University on the football field when we had the Billy Graham crusade there, and that was the week that I answered a call to the ministry, and I'll remember that always. There's another picture that's pretty important to me, and that's from August 24th, 1985. Almost 35 years ago in Gainesville, Georgia, at the First Methodist Church. Sherry and me are coming out. She's just made her biggest mistake, and we've just gotten married there, and here we're coming out. That's 35 years ago. And then here's a picture that's pretty important that I'll slide that around so you can see it. Of course, that's an old church picture directory. And you can see Andrew and Haley there, a few years younger there. But that's one of those Olin Mills pictures that we keep around too, that remind us of earlier days. And so all that to say, in the midst of this social distancing that we've been doing, it's provided kind of a pause to reflect a little bit on the way that God has blessed us in the past and in the present. And so discovering these old boxes and going back through these pictures has been really meaningful to us. It's reminded us of how good God has been to us. And it really makes you stop and think not just about what you're doing, but about who you are, about the person that God has made you to be, and who you're becoming too. And so one of the benefits, I guess, of a really difficult time in this global pandemic has been a reflective time for us to just think about what is God teaching us now, how has God blessed us in the past, and then to see those pictures and be reminded of those memories of how good God has been to us, and then really to anticipate the changes of the future and the person that we're becoming in Christ. It's been sort of the benefit of a pause like this, and I expect it has been for you all too. I hope it has. And I really appreciate you dropping by. I didn't know you were coming, but glad you dropped by so that we could talk for a minute. I look forward to seeing you in our live stream this Sunday.